However, the beautiful name Great Patriotic War was saved for the next time. In 1941, it was applied to the Soviet-German War. Soviet propaganda, like imperial propaganda, appealed to the myth of the War of 1812, and it also took up myths about ancient commanders and heroes. The pantheon was replenished by Zhukov as a clone of the myth of Kutuzov, Stalin, and the nationwide partisan movement. So now the myth of Russia's invincibility rests on two pillars: two great victories in patriotic wars in 1812 and 1941 to 1945. The first was won by the Russian Empire and the second by the USSR. The Russian Federation has had no such victories. The victories over Napoleon and Hitler were won by international coalitions. Both the Russian Empire and the Soviet Union were important, but not the only participants in these coalitions. And in the context of the ongoing Russian-Ukrainian war, it should be emphasized that both victories were won with the participation of Ukrainians. Human, economic, and geographical resources were decisive, and that is why Putin seeks to establish control over Ukraine. He wants to have this resource to strengthen his position, to put pressure on Europe and beyond. The Russian propaganda machine continues to actively reinforce this myth of Russian invincibility so that everyone will continue to believe it. This fantastical universe in which Russia always defeats everyone everywhere cannot exist without all the parades and regalia of May the 9th, which they constantly try to attract more foreigners to. To its rewritten history textbooks, films, fiction, monuments, memorials, and finally T-shirts, mugs, and fridge magnets with images of Stalin, St. George's ribbons, and the sacred dates of the Great Victory. From the outside, it all looks impressive, and if you rely on Russian sources, it even seems plausible. But dig a little deeper, and the house of cards of Russian invincibility collapses before your eyes. It turns out that they made up all of these stories themselves, and if that's the case, then there is less and less doubt that Russia can be defeated.